Life. It is a highway, and oh yes, it is a highway. I would like to ride it all night long. And look. If you were going my way, I think I would like to drive it, vroom vroom, all night long. And if you're going my way, life is a highway, all night long. Ooh yeah. And if you're going my way, life is a highway, all night long. You see, this is Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen is a thing of beauty. He is a fast, strong force of nature. His famous catchphrase is ka-chow, and it's music to my ears every time. He's bright red, he has a powerful, affirmative style. Now, look, you see, he's probably one of the best animated characters ever created. He's voiced by Owen Wilson, the creator of the word wow. Lightning McQueen is just amazing. Now, he has a friend. His friend is Tow Mater. Tow Mater is a decent character. He's a rusty tow truck. He's voiced by Larry the Cable Guy. He's funny at times and totally amazing. You see, in 2006, we got Cars 1, an honest-to-God classic where McQueen is the main focus. And it's a subtle introspection about how to be a better person, which is funny because, you know, they're cars, they're not people. And Mater was a side character with one-liners and funny jokes. But then, when someone in Pixar was like, that Mater guy that we got, he need his own movie where he could be a spy or something. And so in 2011, you got the most awful sequel ever made. The definitive worst sequel. The worst Pixar movie. The worst James Bond movie. It's just a bad movie. It's Cars 2. Cars 2, it's an awful movie. It ruined the Cars franchise. Cars 1, a masterpiece. Cars 2, a master pee-pee-poo-poo piece. And then we got Cars 3, which is like, yeah, alright. McQueen got murked. GG. I have a weird love for the original Cars growing up. It's honestly stellar, and Pixar just taking the most absurd idea and running with it full force. It's a movie that's cheesy and campy, but so full of heart and honestly just so funny.
In your dreams, Thunder.
Yeah, right. Thunder. What's he talking about, thunder?
You know, because thunder always comes after lightning.
The soundtrack is killer, and the animation is absolutely stunning. The intro alone is iconic.
Speed. I am speed. One winner, 42 losers. I eat losers for breakfast.
Cars 2 has none of those qualities. It makes me sad. I mean, the first thing you see is a boat. A boat. It's called Cars 2 and you see a boat. This movie gets an F automatically. You see, I went to Disneyland very recently and I visited Cars Land. It's a gorgeous place, and one of the food items there I got is called a ka-cheeseburger. A ka-cheeseburger. Like the ka-chow, but ka-cheese. Eating the burger, I connected myself to Lightning McQueen in a spiritual way. Me and him became brothers. The burger wasn't good at all, but the title alone was special. It wasn't called the Mater Burger or something. No, it was the ka-cheese burger. My point is that McQueen was iconic for a reason. Mater is great, but you don't make an entire film about him. It's not even a spin-off. It's canon, and it really just shouldn't be. I am defending Cars. The series Cars. This is where my life is right now. I don't know how I got here, what led me to this point in life on YouTube, but I am going to defend the series Cars because the first one is absolutely incredible. Cars 1 is all about that beautiful redemption arc. You take a stuck-up race car driver and make him understand friendships. It's on the nose that it's a car, it's all about going fast, but he needs to learn and slow down once in a while. He needs to enjoy life, smell the roses, if you will. It's so goofy at times, it's just so heartwarming.
I knowed I made a good choice.
In what?
My best friend.
Then you got Cars 2, which is literally just a movie about spies. What if the Cars world had secret agents? Literally, that's all it is. Why? Why would you do this? Literally, why? Why make this a blockbuster film for wide release instead of a spin-off TV movie? The first movie feels like an actual movie. Like actual characters exist and have arcs. The only one that sort of has an arc in Cars 2 is Tow Mater. For some ungodly reason, they just focus on Mater because moms and kids laughed at him in the first movie, so they took the route of just making him the focus for even more money. But in return, for a less actual good movie, a big brain move, Also, there's guns. There's guns in Cars 2. There are guns. Boom, boom. This man pulls out a Glock. There are guns in Cars 2. The film begins instantly with a departure. Instead of the iconic intro from the first, it's just this long spy scene with characters we've never met. Like I said, there's a boat. We see a boat. A boat! You're not a car! So we meet this dude named Finn McMissile, aka Finn McNaught McQueen. I don't care about him. He infiltrates this oil rig on some spy stuff, we get goofy James Bond-esque feels, and honestly, it wouldn't be so bad if it just wasn't a follow-up to an intro like this. How do you go from such an iconic setup to some meh action scene where the gag is that instead of being humans, it's cars in a spy movie? That's the gag. Not to mention that the fact that McMissile is just boring. His only characteristic is killing other cars. Like this one dude who just falls forever until he explodes his car parts all over the water. It's very gruesome. Also, this entire movie is just a troll into making these cars do physical activities that you shouldn't see them do or don't actually get to see them do. Because it's just dumb to watch these cars do this stuff. Like, okay, he's a spy, he got gadgets, but it's a car and he's not immune to gravity. It's just not cool to watch. Also, why does McMissile use an oxygen mask? Like, what? He's a car! This isn't used for a gag. It's not funny. He's a car, right? So they have lungs. Do they have lungs? Oh my god, cars have organs. Cars have organs. What do? We then meet Tow Mater just doing his towing thing. He meets up with Lightning McQueen, my love, and sadly, we already see a drop in animation. The detail is better, yes, the detail here is insanely good. But look at the character in the movements of the original and compare it to Cars 2. Look how expressive he is without moving an inch. It just feels like it has less quality. It just feels off to me. So McQueen goes on a date with Sally. Sally, who was such an important part of the last film to building someone's character, is giving 3 seconds of screen time in this movie and only used as a thirsty car. Literally, her entire character, from pushing McQueen to slow down and enjoy life, is transformed to her crushing on an Italian car.
Francesco Bernoulli. No wonder there's a crowd.
So Mater does goofy stuff and gets McQueen involved with a new racing circuit, which makes them travel to Tokyo. And here's yet another gripe already. We see so much of the world in Cars 2. Literally, they do a great job of showing off so many different landscapes and settings. They do a lot of detail, but there's no reason for them to be cars in this. Nothing about any of the settings makes being cars inhabiting it actually matter. In the first and third movie, they do a lot with the setting and have an extension to the fact that everyone is a car. In the first movie, everything in Radiator Springs is wide and massive for cars to fit in and drive around. The canyons are shaped like cars. The characters are literally an extension of the setting. They only have this place in the racetrack because it makes sense for the entire world. It makes sense for the entire movie pretty much. And they go to Italy and they go to France in the second movie. And it's just the same place as our world, but instead of people, it's cars. That's it. See, these tiny fences, why would they be there? Cars can't fit in those tiny fences, so why are they there? This is the entirety of the movie, and I just can't help but baby rage. I am baby raging over the Cars series right now, but this is Pixar. Pixar are gods at immersion and world building, so it's just very disappointing. Like, they show cute stuff, like tires and vending machines, or sleeping in cabins, but like, we already have that in the real world. In the first, they use gas stations as food. That's funny, that's different. It gives a reason for it to actually be cars. We also see planes in this movie, but like, how do they work? So if they're like inside the plane, where are the organs? Please, Pixar, just show me every layer to these vehicles. I just need to know how they work before I go crazy. So we go to a business convention and Mater embarrasses McQueen. He eats the wasabi.
Now that's a scoop of ice cream.
And he like leaks motor oil all over the place before he goes to the bathroom. We meet Bruce Campbell. Oh, so okay.
Okay, McMissile, I'm here.
You got Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell is always a win. So Bruce Campbell dies and gives Mater a secret device without him knowing. So now Mater is automatically a spy. And then the movie is just kind of a spy movie from now on. It's spy movies. It just keeps spy movieing the whole movie. Any spy movie you've ever seen in your life. Have you seen Skyfall? Have you seen Kingsman? Have you seen that old 007 movie? That's the entire plot of this movie. From the gadgets to the gadgets and the gadgets, you get chase scenes. You get so many chase scenes. At one point, they go to Italy and we see a car that has hair? Why the car has hair? I'm sorry, what? There's no There's no excuse for that. Why does the car have hair? During all of this, Mater just keeps embarrassing McQueen. This leads for McQueen to get all mad at him, then forgive him by the end. It's a tiny meh arc that doesn't really matter. The entire movie is just Mater looking dumb until he realizes, oh, it's okay for me to be like this, everyone else is dumb. It's sweet, but it's also just not as heartwarming as the first or even the third movie. So during the final race, we have a lot of fight scenes, a bunch of kung fu from Mater for no reason. It's just not entertaining, not even for kids. Then, oh wow, the big spy twist happens. The guy who hosts the race is actually the one causing the races to fail. The entire movie, cars have been blowing up during the race, but like no actual damage to anyone. They seem like they'll recover later. The damage is actually a lot worse in the actual racing, it seems. So yeah, this guy just wanted to blow everyone up to sell his oil better or something. It's so basic, it's so cookie cutter. How do you go from this being the final arc?
Yeah! Woo! Come on, baby!
What are you doing, kid?
I think the king should finish his last race.
You just gave up the piston cup. You know that?
This grumpy old race car I know once told me something.
It's just an empty cup.
To this.
You're insane, you are! Deactivate!
It just makes me upset. As a kid, I was upset about this too. The first cars shook me to the core as a kid, and just showed me that you can be a good person if you just sacrifice your own goals once in a while. Then 12-year-old me watches Cars 2, and just finding out that it's a basic spy flick is just not funny. It's not special, it's just not fun. Then what's the point? You see, Departure sequels can be good. They can be really funny. Focusing on a character that's different can be fun, but only when it's a character that isn't normally just the comic relief. In this movie, he gets really annoying at times. Like, just run me over already, McQueen. Please just run me over. I'm going crazy. And some of the dialogue is absolutely cringeworthy.
If you're implying that I switched out that rot-gut excuse for alternative fuel with my all-natural, sustainable, organic biofuel just because I never trusted Axelrod, you're dead wrong, man.
Pixar being cringe is a sad timeline that we live in. Overall, Cars 2 is just a disappointment. It's obvious that the people behind it even know that to be true. Considering the third movie, they went back to the style of the first one and just had it being a personal story of just learning about yourself. It still wasn't as special though, but it's very enjoyable and the animation went back to being gorgeous. But God, I just cannot forgive Cars 2. In a good world, there's only 2 Cars movies. The second one is just a TV movie that isn't canon, but nope, that's not the case. I'm baby raging so hard right now. It also just makes me upset that it was a kids franchise that got ruined, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Spy Kids. Just anything that inspires people and actually makes them feel special is always ruined for cash grabs. Life is indeed a highway. It is not a society that we live in. It's a highway, and I would like to drive it all night long, dude. Wasabi.